government. I said this at the stakeholder meeting in Ekiti. I meant it. We did it. And I know that some people accused us of lying, accused even me of lying, that we said we did color coding, but we didn't do it. We did color coding, and the evidence is there. We have done color coding also in Osun State. And what we are going to do in Osun, different from what we did in Ekiti. On the day we are going to distribute sensitive election materials, which I understand is tomorrow, materials will be distributed tomorrow to be taken to different local governments, of course with adequate security arrangement. When we distribute those ballot papers tomorrow, we will give a color-coded map to every agent of a political party, so you can see the different colors of ballot papers in different local governments. We didn't do that in Ekiti. Maybe that's why people were accused us unfairly of not doing the color coding. So now we will be very transparent. We are not giving it earlier than tomorrow because some people can go and produce the ballot papers, before. But by tomorrow, when we start distributing, we will give you a map of the state showing for each local government what is the color of the ballot paper going to be used in that local government. Of course, we have also ensured that in every polling unit there will be a cubicle where people can go and cast their vote in secret. The secrecy of the ballot is very, very important, and we must ensure that it is protected. In fact, the law, the Electoral Act, gives us the mandate to ensure that the ballot is, the secrecy of the ballot is protected. I'm saying this, I did not hear it myself, but I was called yesterday and I was told that a political party that had done a rally recently had urged its supporters, when they vote on Saturday, that they should take photographs of the ballot papers. I don't know whether it is true that that was said. If it was said, I will ask every voter to disregard that, because doing that is going to be illegal. You cannot go to a polling unit with a camera and take a photograph of the ballot paper. That violates the secrecy of the ballot. It must be protected. But we must do everything possible to ensure that no fraudulent activity takes place in the polling unit with regards to the distribution or the utilization of the ballot papers. So in every polling unit, we provide a cubicle. When a voter receives his or her card, he or she goes to that cubicle where in secret they will cast the person of their choice. Then they will fold it and come out and in the presence of everybody drop that ballot paper in the ballot box. This is what the law requires, and that is what we should do. In Ekiti, we were also accused of using what they call either expired or poor quality thumbprint ink. Again, those were frivolous allegations. We make sure that our materials are of the highest grade of quality. I think what may have happened in Ekiti is that people confused the issue of indelible ink, which is used to mark the cuticle after registration, with the ink that you use to thumbprint the ballot paper. These are different. The ink you use to thumbprint the ballot paper is a normal ink, it's not indelible ink. Therefore, after you thumbprint, you can come and use a paper and wipe it off your hand. But the one you put on the cuticle, that's the indelible one that is supposed to take at least 48 hours before it is removed. And the purpose is so that nobody moves from one place to the other fraudulently voting, because it can easily be identified that they had voted somewhere else. It is very, very important, and we've done our best to urge political parties to do that. We must give significance to the role of party agents. Our experience in INEC since 2011 is that many political parties go into the contest either without appreciating the importance of party agents or not really training them well and ensuring that they have people of integrity to represent them in polling units or even in collation centers. So I want to urge political parties, pay attention, have credible party agents for the purposes of witnessing what happens in a polling unit and witnessing the collation, and so that they can get you a copy of the result sheet from each polling unit, and also at the different levels of the collation centers. This is very, very important. If a fraudulent activity happens, and in Nigeria it's conceivable that we have not eliminated fraudulent activities 100%, so it can happen. So you need the evidence that a fraudulent activity has taken place. If you do not have a trained agent, if you do not have a credible agent, an agent that cannot be bought by other parties, because we know in Nigeria it happens, some parties will appoint agents and then the highest bidder will go and snatch them, so you must pay attention to the appointment of agents. Leading to 2015, perhaps too late for the Osun election, we have commenced a program of training of trainers of party agents in our electoral institute. We have requested parties to nominate so that we can train people, and those people can go back and train within their own parties how a party agent should discharge his or her responsibility. So again, as we move towards this election on August 9, pay attention to having credible agents in the polling unit. At every level of collation, an agent is supposed to get for the party that he or she represents a copy of the result sheets. All this talk about result sheets changing from the polling unit to the collation center, it will be very, very easy to prove if the result changes, because you are supposed to have copies of the results at each level of collation. But if you don't have agents, you will not be able to have that evidence, and it will become a mere allegation that will be very, very difficult to prove. So please pay attention to the significance and the role of party agents in elections, particularly as we move towards this election on Saturday. We are going to use permanent voters' cards for the elections here in Ekiti. Forgive me. As Ekiti is it what they call a Freudian slip? Okay. In Osun, we are going to use permanent voters' cards for the elections here in Osun State. We started using this in Ekiti, and the whole purpose is that using a permanent voters' card helps us address many outstanding challenges. When we did the election in Anambra State, we were accused of disenfranchising voters. And the reason was that people came to the polling unit and could not find their names on the electronic register. And they could not find their names because even though we gave them the opportunity as far as August of 2013, while the election took place in November, we gave them opportunity to come and update their records, because we said henceforth there will be no more addendum register. They did not do so. So people will come and wave their temporary card and say that they had been disenfranchised. In fact, in Anambra State, people even came and they used 2006 voters' cards. And when they wave it, nobody will know whether it is a 2011 or 2006 card, and they will wave it and say they have been disenfranchised. And we took a lot of blame for that. So we took a decision that since we are only going to use the electronic register,